Hello and welcome back to part 2 of my Assassin's Creedathon. Last time we looked at Assassin's Creed, so by natural progression we're looking at Assassin's Creed 2 today. Okay, well technically there was a PSP game, there was a direct sequel to the first, but I'm reviewing the Heritage Collection so I'm not covering that one. So enough of my blathering, well for now at least, let's dig in. We start the game with our old friend Desmond Mars, who is being rescued from the facility he was in the last game by the scientist's assistant, who has now switched side and joined the Assassin's Creed. Once Desmond escapes, he meets up with a bunch of other members of the Creed in their headquarters, an old warehouse. Also, is it me, but does the snarky British member of the Creed sound like Wheatley from Portal 2? Need to look that one up. So then he is put into the brand new Animus 2.0, which has miraculously evolved from a table with VR headset attached to a reclining chair with a pair of headphones attached. Again, I don't see what this has to do with virtual reality, but it is comfy though. Desmond goes back to live through the memories of his relative from the Renaissance this time, and his name is Ezio Auditore de Firenze, which is probably one of the best names I've ever heard in a video game. So as you could have told from his name, this game takes place in Italy. Oh well, might as well get in the mood. Delissimo! Ezio starts off the game as an upstart, womanizing kid until his father and two brothers are murdered, and finds out that his father was a member of the Assassin's Creed. So he vows revenge and goes off to be trained by his assassin uncle, Mario.
It's me, Mario!
You just couldn't resist, could you, Ubisoft? Heck, I'm surprised they didn't decide to name Ezio's father Luigi. So, Uncle Mario teaches Ezio in the ways of the assassin, and Ezio goes off to murder the people that killed his father, and in the process saves Lorenzo de Medici. Congratulations, Ezio! You just saved one of the most infamously corrupt and murderous rich people in history. And another friend and associate of Ezio is the one and only Leonardo da Vinci, who helps invent new weapons for him and decipher codes. So after hopping from city-state to city-state, he finally ends up in Venice. And thank God Ezio can actually swim, unlike a certain previous assassin who merely died if he just touched the water like he's some wicked witch of the West. And in Venice, you finally find out who was behind the Templars. Rodrigo Borgia. Yep, the main villain of the game is the Pope. Normally I'd make a cheap jab at the Catholic faith, but the current Pope seems to be a pretty nice person and is doing a pretty good job. After confronting Rodrigo Borgia and taking the Piece of Eden, you know, thing from the first game, you find out that a bunch of people that have been helping you, with the exception of Leonardo da Vinci and the Medici, are all members of the Creed. Ezio ends up in a damp, dark and boggy region that could easily be mistaken for East Anglia. Ezio confronts two mercenaries that were hired by Rodrigo Borgia, only for him to get knocked out long enough for him to grow a decent beard. Ezio awakens only to find out a monk has nicked the Piece of Eden, has taken over Florence, so Ezio needs to basically save Florence, kill the monk and take the Piece of Eden back, which he does, making this subplot kind of pointless. Chris, there is a ferocious, hideous, remorseless monster outside. Please, can you save us? Okay, I'm on my way. Right, where is it? Oh, get it off! Get it off me! Get it off! Right. Got him! Now, where was I? Ah, yes. Ezio gets the piece of Eden back, heads off to the Vatican to confront Rodrigo, only to find out Rodrigo has his own magical mystical item, the Staff of Eden. Although it kind of looks more like a hyper-stylized garden tool. And it creates seismic shockwaves for some reason. After being defeated and Rodrigo taking the piece of Eden, Ezio wakes up and follows Rodrigo down into a secret chamber hidden underneath the Vatican. Rodrigo is trying to use the staff and the piece of Eden to open a chamber where he believes God lives. Wait, wasn't it established in the previous game that the Templars don't believe in God? Oh, whatever. And then you beat the crap out of the Pope. Well, that was a sentence I just said. So Ezio wins and enters the chamber, and here's where the massive exposition dump comes. He is confronted by a hologram of an ancient, near immortal race that created humanity and were wiped out by a solar flare causing geomagnetic fluctuations, and they created the pieces of Eden and the other items of Eden to help humanity learn and progress and in hopes that they will escape the same fate, and starts talking to Desmond directly, even though this is in Ezio's memory. And then, well, the look on Ezio's face kind of mirrors my own at this point. Then Desmond wakes up from the Animus, only for a bunch of Templar goons to attack the warehouse. The Creed members say they need to move, they all get in a truck, and then it's the end. While the basics of the gameplay remain the same from the previous game, the gameplay feels a lot more polished and refined than previously. True, you can still end up jumping a direction you didn't intend to, but the controls feel a lot more responsive and fluid than before. There's a bunch of new ways to take down enemies, and the combat feels a lot less messy than the previous game. The side quests feel a lot more varied and include assassination missions, races and time trials, delivering letters, beating up unfaithful husbands, something I never thought I would ever say in a video, raiding Templar stashes, discovering forgotten assassin tombs, and some very tough yet ingenious code-breaking puzzles. Thank God they're only optional. And also collecting a bunch of feathers. Yeah, it's feathers this time, not flags. While the music is better in this game, it's not really that memorable either. Although there is this one track that sounds like it fits more in a Half-Life game than Assassin's Creed. The graphics are a little better this time, certainly more colourful, but then this is Renaissance Italy, the birthplace of significant art and political corruption, unlike today where there's still political corruption but now the art's crap too. My final thoughts are, while the previous game left a bit of awkward taste in my mouth, Assassin's Creed 2 is a breath of fresh if slightly pasta-scented air. And while people say this is the best game in the series, I still got 3 more in this collection before I draw my final thoughts. Buongiorno, my friendo. I am totally honest Italiano person. Yes. Templar, what are you doing? You're not fooling anyone. Yes, it is I, the Templar, and I have finally come to destroy you. So what? I'll just use my magic Fabergé egg to stop you again. Ha! I counter your magic Fabergé egg with my magic apple picker. Damn it, the thing we totally established last time and didn't just pull out of our ass for this video. Well, time for plan B. Go get him, Mr. Cuddles. What the? Oh, what is this, demon? Get it off me! Get it away! Get it away! See you for part 3. Ezio finally ends up in Spain. After being defeated and Rodrigo taking the Eye of Eden. It's not called the Eye of Eden. Action! Right, where is it? Oh!